Whovians, it's Lopez with the new Who review, and this time it's The War Games. The Doctor and his companions, Jamie and Zoe, land in the trenches of WW1, where it is quickly apparent that nothing is as it seems. An alien race known as the Aliens have kidnapped soldiers from Earth's many wars and has them fighting in different time zones. What? Hey, why don't you go out and wash the car? I said, why don't you go out and wash the car? Thank you. World War I, the American Civil War, Jamie's own Scottish Rebellion of 1745, and many other Earth's wars are represented in a grid built by the War Chief, who serves the War Lord, who wants to wage intergalactic war. This gets so out of hand, the Doctor must contact his own people for help. The Doctor and the War Chief seem to have a history, but is there a future for the victims of the War Games? This story is an epic 10 episodes long, and it will be out on DVD later this year. A couple of months, I think November, but don't quote me. There's a lot to love, but there's also a lot of repetition that could have been cut out. But hey, what are you going to do? All of the acting was superb, in my opinion, including a young David Troughton, son of Patrick, who does a really good job in a small part, a soldier named Moore. The security chief, played by James Bree, was very good. I appreciated his understated performance. It made his outbursts seem more visceral. Very well done. By comparison, the War Lord, played by Philip Maddock, was marginalized, in my opinion, until the last episode when he got to let loose. He had a lot of fun. The Hypno glasses were introduced, and I thought they were a pretty neat device, but when Von Wyk pulled out the Hypno monocle, I nearly wet myself laughing. I had to stop the tape. I half expected the next guy to have Hypno opera glasses and then Hypno binoculars so that he could trance people at a distance. By the way, that fella, David Garfield, was my favorite actor in the whole thing. The Sonic Screwdriver makes another appearance, and the Doctor uses the alias John Smith. We learn that the Doctor is of a race of beings known as Time Lords, and we visit his planet. But we do not learn the name of his homeworld. Yet. The aliens in the control room reminded me of Devo. And the War Chief kind of looked like Ming the Merciless and Khan from Star Trek had a kid. Edward Brayshaw, he was wonderful. When I first saw this story, I was convinced that the War Chief was in fact the Master. I was wrong, apparently, but I still wonder if he regenerated. Master or no, he is a Time Lord. A tip of the hat to the two men who wrote this epic tale. Malcolm Hulke and Terrence Dix. Yep, Hulke and Dix. Hulke and Dix wrote this story. We wouldn't have this story without Hulke and Dix. So here's a late but hearty thank you to Hulke and Dix. A quick word about the story, The Space Pirates. Sadly, it is lost in time. But lucky you. You were spared all this pirate stuff I had. I even had a parrot. I got a parrot. Look at this. Very dirty bird. The War Games marks the end of the Patrick Troughton era. What makes me most sad is all the stuff that I didn't get to see. However, as I've previously reviewed, there are some amazing fans out there doing incredible restoration work on their own time for the love of this show, and they deserve a big round of applause. The good news is, from here on out, there's not anything missing. What? Well, great. That's fantastic. Hey, look, I'm getting a little hungry. Would you mind making me a grilled cheese sandwich with some tomato soup? Excuse me for just a second. Grilled cheese sandwich, tomato soup, chop chop. Don't let the soup get that skin on it. You know I hate that. You've got to get a pair of these. See you in time.